FSN Pittsburgh.
You bet we're on TV, and we are glad you've joined us for another Kids Day Sunday afternoon at PNC Park. Chest protector backpacks for all the kids, just in time for a return to school for some of them this week. Game 3 of a 3-game set with the New York Mets is on tap here at PNC Park. Hi again, everyone, along with John Wayner. I'm Tim Neverett. Mother Nature spoiled the Pirates' chance at any comeback last night. It was an official game, so the Pirates will take the loss to the Mets in Game 2. Andrew McCutcheon's been the bright spot this homestand, Rock. He has been able to hit the long ball as well as come up with a few extra base hits.
Well, I think Andrew's always going to hit, and these slumps are going to be few and far between. But when his timing's just right, and he's swinging the bat well, he's going to drive the ball out of the ballpark. You're always going to see the speed, but when his timing's right and his bat stays in the zone a little bit longer, he's going to drive the ball to gaps. You're going to see the doubles. You're going to see the ball out of the ballpark. He's just so much fun to watch when everything's right in his timing.
McCutcheon having an outstanding homestand. He'll face a tough pitcher today. Mets left-hander Johan Santana. He's had 2 straight complete games. Santana against another lefty, Zach Duke.
It's amazing he only has 10 wins. 15 of his 26 starts, he's allowed 1 or 0 runs. Very impressive pitcher, and he's very tough to hit against.
Johan Santana against Zach Duke. That is the pitching matchup. And today, a special treat as the Pittsburgh kid Neil Walker is mic'd up. We'll take you inside the game. First pitch coming up from PNC Park on FSN in a moment.
To you by PNC. PNC for the Achiever in us all. By Barrel Automotive. Barrel.com. Definitely worth the click. By your Toyota dealer, where quality, dependability, and good MPG all come standard. Toyota, moving forward. And by your Western PA Honda dealer.
Sun's starting to come out here on the North Shore. Mets and Pirates wrapping up this 3-game weekend series here. at PNC Park. Jerry Manuel's lineup brought to you by Toyota. Moving forward, Jose Reyes, Angel Pagan, and Carlos Beltran all switch hitters at the top of the order. David Wright. Then Jeff Francoeur gets a start in right field today. Ike Davis will be at first base. Henry Blanco behind the plate. Ruben Tejada back at second. And the pitcher, Johan Santana, batting ninth.
Zach Duke going to try to rebound from a rough start last time. It actually wasn't that rough. He pitched pretty well. 1 inning did him in. But hopefully Zach will be on top of his game tonight. Certainly you'd expect him to have to be against a guy like Santana.
And Reyes lays one down. Doman on it and throws it away. And Jose Reyes is now in at second base with nobody out.
Like last night, Jose Reyes ended up on second, first batter of the game, and here the bunt, and Ryan Doman out quickly to get it, but he knew he didn't have much time to set up and throw, so he got rid of it very quickly. A good throw would have gotten Reyes at first base, but with that speed, you have to rush. You have to be in a big hurry, and so you're not going to be as accurate as you'd like to be.
Scored a hit and an error, and so now Jose Reyes has equaled Keith Hernandez's club record of 22 straight road games with a base hit. Jones gets Pagan at first, and Reyes unable to move up. And there is Keith Hernandez, who is the analyst on Mets telecasts. Keith, back in 1987, hit in 22 straight road games.
What a good job by Reyes there, actually. I mean, a great play by first baseman Garrett Jones, but Reyes typically on a ball to the right side, you're just going to break from second base, but he knew that Garrett Jones was in at first base, and the ball was hit hard, and he probably would have been thrown out, so he stayed at second.
Jose Reyes, 2 hits last night, including a double and a run scored. A rain-shortened game, and he had 3 hits on Friday night, plus a stolen base. There he goes, taking off for third. Doman's throw down, not nearly in time. What a jump by Reyes. And he has stolen his 28th base.
Yep, the big slow breaking ball, too, after the big jump. No chance for Ryan Doman. As you could see, Reyes there easily had his feet moving a little bit, and that's what you try to do, a good base stealer, especially stealing third. You don't want to be standing still. Try to get some kind of movement, and he had his feet going up and down. But picked a good pitch to go on as well, the big slow breaker.
1-1 the count to Beltran. Jerry Manuel's got a runner in scoring position early again, and Beltran will get a run in. Deep fly ball to McCutchen on the track. Sacrifice fly and an RBI. Beltran has driven in his 11th run, and the Mets with a 1-0 lead. Defensively behind Zach Duke in the outfield. Tabata in left, McCutchen in center. Lastings Millage starts in right field. Alvarez, Cedeno, Walker, and Jones on the infield. Doman catching, Duke pitching. Walker today is mic'd up. Walker's wired, and we'll hear some of the things that happened during the course of a game from Neil's perspective today. 2 men out, nobody on, 1-0 Mets. And David Wright swings and misses. Mets now have scored the first run of the ball game in 7 straight games. They are 50-22 when they score the first run of a game. 0-1 to Wright is inside.
Yeah, that's one of those stats that just about every team, if not every team, has a winning record when they score first, including the Pirates. They're 5 games over when they tally the first run.
1-2 to David Wright. Wright had a 3-run home run in the 5th inning last night, and it was his first ever home run at PNC Park. There's only one other National League home run, or one other National League park he has not hit a home run in, and that's Nationals Park in Washington.
About 40. A nationally televised event. I don't know exactly how many, but the home run derby here at PNC back in 2006. He put on quite a show with his catcher at the time, Paula Duca. Paula Duca throwing batting practice. The home run derby.
His first one in an actual game. And it was a long one, too, last night. The bullpen in left center. Here comes the 2-2. And now it's a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Wanted to go for the appeal. DJ Rayburn at first says nope, he did not go.
In the 7 or so years I've watched Zach Duke pitch, I don't ever remember him bouncing a breaking ball that far in front of the plate. And he's done it twice in a row.
Right goes to right center. This one's deep, and this one's off the wall. Millage quickly gunning it into second. And in with a 2-out double is David Wright, his 31st double.
Makes him a great hitter as he uses the entire field. He gets a pitch out over the plate, doesn't try to pull it. You try to pull that pitch more times than not, you're going to hit a ground ball to the left side. He goes with it, shows off his power. That pitch is not in a bad location, as you see on the AGH cam. Knee high, outside corner. But when you look out there and you look to drive it the other way, you're as good as David Wright. You're going to rack up the doubles.
Right fielder Jeff Francoeur takes inside. I'm talking about racking up doubles for David Wright. Hit his 30th double on the 18th of this month at Houston. He's the only player with 6 straight seasons of 30 or more doubles in Mets history. Two balls and no strikes now to Francoeur. Francoeur has not started in right the last 2 games. Chris Carter has. Carter, a left-handed hitter, sitting today, and Francoeur, a right-handed hitter, in there against the lefty Duke. Francoeur, with runners in scoring position since the 5th of July, is hitting .071, just 2 for 28. And Duke is way behind in the count, 3-0. Three balls, no strikes.
Wow.
He gets a strike.
I'm always confused when you get a guy like Francoeur and you got 2 outs and runner in scoring position and you just take. I don't know if that's Jerry Manuel's call or maybe he gave him the green light. Francoeur decided to take, but you're talking belt high down the middle, 88. That's a pitch I want to swing at, especially with a runner in scoring position. As you mentioned, the guy that's struggling with runners in scoring position, you don't want him to walk. You want him to drive him in. He's hitting 5th for a reason.
And Francoeur walks with 2 outs. Neil Walker is wired today. Let's listen in.
Thank you. That's it. Playing basketball and football and everything. Nice to see you. Oh yeah, it's been fun. Yeah. I've been lucky. So.
Neil Walker, hometown guy, always taking time for the fans, and it's one of the things people are very excited to see him play here at PNC Park. I'm sure you experience the same thing, right?
Yep, it's quite an honor actually. Neil Walker, I know, appreciates it. And it's a special treat that we get him mic'd up, just like we got a special treat here in the booth. As Manny Sangan just dropped by, brought a bag of goodies.
Yeah, brought some of the barbecue up.
What he doesn't know is I'm not allowed to eat during the game, but
says who?
Heat it up. Just store it, eat it post game.
I know you're not allowed to eat during the games, Rock, but when has that ever stopped you?
Jeez, Tim. We're trying to keep it out of the truck. I'm trying to,
the
people in the truck don't know I eat, and they forbid it.
They know.
Just threw me under the bus again.
There are cameras everywhere.
Under the bus once again.
1-2 to Ike Davis.
I got the bag of goodies hidden underneath the desk here. I was going to duck down to where they couldn't see me and take a bite of a barbecue sandwich, and now I got no chance.
They have spies everywhere. They have cameras everywhere.
I'll put it in the fridge for later.
2 outs and 2 on for the Mets. Top of the first. 1 run is in. And down on strikes goes Davis. 1 run, 2 hits, an error, and 2 left.
How do you spell it? Veclan. EUR. There you go, buddy. Have a good day, okay? All right, pal.
Neil Walker wired today, and he's trying to help the Bucs get on the board, trailing the Mets 1-0 after the first half inning. Here's John Russell's lineup, brought to you by Suzuki. McCutchen at the top of the order. Jose Tabata, then Walker. Garrett Jones in the 4th spot. Pedro Alvarez, Ryan Domet, Lastings Millage in there in right field today. Cedeno hitting 8th, and Zach Duke batting 9th. Johan Santana delivers a strike to Andrew McCutchen. 12 home runs, all of them with nobody on. All solo shots, and he's had 3 of those 12 this homestand.
That bat stays through the zone. He's using his hands just right. Boy, the ball just jumps off of his bat. Such a pretty thing, and we saw that last year when he first got called up. It seemed like he hit a triple every other ball game. His hands stayed inside, drove the ball gap to gap, but unable to do anything his first time up against Johan Santana, which isn't anything to be ashamed of. He's real good, as you can see, the 2.97 ERA. Just 10 wins. I mentioned during the Open, 15 starts, 0 or 1 runs allowed. 0 or 1 run allowed. He's only got 9 wins out of those 15 occurrences.
Jose Tabata flirting with 300, batting .299. Tabata fouls it off. Barrel Automotive League leaders stat, the active leaders in winning percentage. Santana at the top of the list. A couple of good guys right behind him, and Roy Halladay, Tim Hudson, CC Sabathia, Andy Pettit. That's a very impressive list. Barrel Automotive definitely worth the click at barrel.com. 1-2 the count to Tabata. And hanging on is the catcher Blanco for strike 3.
See the good Johan Santana changeup. He got Andrew McCutchen on the high fastball. He gets Tabata Tabata on the changeup, as you see. And in Jose's eyes, that looks like a fastball coming out of his hand. But as you can see, the grip in the AGH cam. Ball choked back into the palm of his hand. And when he was with Minnesota and throwing in the mid-90s, I can't even imagine what that was like. Velocity isn't what it was when he was a youngster, but still you could see the life on the fastball, still good enough to get it by hitters. And when you have a good enough fastball to have the batter a little bit late on it, that makes the changeup that much better, because they're gearing up, cheating, starting to swing a little bit early. You pull the string with that changeup and you get the hitter out in front.
1-2 to Walker. Well, that changeup he had back in Minnesota, and still called it sometimes. They call it the Bugs Bunny changeup, because you could swing 3 times before it would get to the plate.
There it is.
There it is right there. Santana strikes out the side. Took him 10 pitches to do it. The achievement last June, Zach Duke went head-to-head with Johan Santana. Had a terrific game, went 7 innings, allowed only 1 earned run. The Pirates would win that game 3-1. PNC for the achiever in us all. There's one of the better games of the season. Zach had pitched last year. And hoping he can hold things down right now. 1-0 Mets with the lead. Henry Blanco, the catcher, up there. Then Ruben Tejada and Johan Santana to fall. But Santana impressive in the top of the first.
Indeed. Good fastball, a good changeup. As you mentioned, just 10 pitches to strike out the side. As you see, Hank White.
Henry Blanco, Hank White. There you go.
There's not many left out there, but a former teammate of mine, Hank White. He was just a kid down in Venezuela, 1992.
Well, in case you missed it today, from our friends at Mazda, Lou Piniella, manager of the Cubs, says that he will retire after today's game. Chicago hosting the Braves today. Mike Quade, the third base coach, will take over. And Lou was going to retire at the end of the season anyway, but dealing with an illness to his mother, then it has become serious. And so Lou will manage the Cubs today, and then that is going to be it.
Speaking of illness, hopefully not that serious. Member of the Bucco family is Henry Blanco, called out on a strike 3. Jim Welch, been in the Buccos clubhouse for years and years, known as Ace to some family and friends. Went to the hospital going through some tests. Hopefully Jimmy will be back in the Bucco clubhouse here soon, but we're all thinking about him. And again, I know he's ready to get out of the hospital and back to work. So get well, Jimmy.
Tejada lines one to right. Here comes Millage. Ruben Tejada out very quickly. Calling the balls and strikes. Tim McClellan, the crew chief. DJ Rayburn at first. Andy Fletcher is at second base. And third base umpire Adrian Johnson. So 2 men are out. And Johan Santana, the hitter. 161 is average. He does have a hit against the Pirates in his career. Pitch inside. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to Santana. 31 years of age from Venezuela. And that's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. And that's also a strike. 1 and 2. Just waiting to make sure.
Yeah. I think that Henry Blanco called third strike. Hard for us to see it from up here at times. There's Ryan Domit taking him just the second inning to get dinged up by a pitch. It just seems like it happens so often to Ryan, and really nothing he can do about it. It's just bad luck. It seems like he gets hit a lot, and that one caught him in the inside of the right leg. Looked like it missed the shin guard. Get a good view of it here from the AGH cam, and ouch.
Get him on the foot.
Keeps getting those foul balls, whether it's the mask, the foot, the arm, the hand. Take a liking to right field.
And Johan Santana has his second career hit against the Pirates. His 10th hit of the year. 2-out single for the Mets pitcher.
Breaking ball from Zach Duke. Johan hooks it through the hole. Nothing Neal could do.
Santana aboard. Jones will play in front of him. And the switch hitter Jose Reyes at the plate. Reyes a base hit on a bunt in the first inning. Went to second on a throwing error by Ryan Domit. Stole third. And then scored when Carlos Beltran hit one to deep center field to drive him in. Right off the fist, and that's in the trouble zone. Cedeno's going to have a tough play, and he got him. Oh, and a play by Ronnie Cedeno to retire the speedy Jose Reyes.
I didn't think he had a chance. Boy, Ronnie Cedeno, a little dribbler like that, Reyes, that's almost always a hit. And maybe a call for the Bucks.
official gear, including the latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, and authentic classics for the whole family. Get your gear from the official source, thepirates.com shop. Accept no substitutes. All right, Cedeno, watch this play, Rock.
That's a dandy. Again, I didn't even think he should make this throw. And as you see on the replay, that's why you make the throw. Because even though it appears Reyes may have beaten the throw, you get a call, you get an out.
Well, the bottom line is it doesn't matter whether you think he's safe or out. It's whatever the umpire says. That's what counts. Sometimes it goes for you, sometimes against you. Santana delivers strike one to Garrett Jones, 1-1.
As good as Santana has been and is, believe it or not, lefties actually hit him better than righties do. Not only this year, but throughout his career.
Jones hammers one deep to right. Way back and foul. Not by very much.
And Garrett Jones off the bat kind of stayed in the batter's box and used the body language to see if it was fair or foul. There you see the good swing, the hands inside. Didn't have much hook to it.
He takes strike three, and Johan Santana has struck out the first four men of the ballgame.
Boy, that thing just stayed so straight for Garrett. I think off the bat he thought it was going to be a foul ball. Hard to tell what it hit there, where Karen was back into fair territory. But Garrett, he just stood there in the box thinking it was foul all the way. Then he dropped his bat and started taking a few steps, thinking maybe he'd clip the foul pole. No such luck.
Pedro Alvarez takes strike one. Pedro seeing his average dip just a little bit down to 238. Doesn't have a hit in the series yet, and he is now behind 0-2. And that's been an issue for Pedro, hitting behind in counts.
Yeah, that and the fact the fastball, I think, has given him problems. And usually when you see a young hitter, that's the pitch that he hits the best is the fastball. But for Pedro, that hasn't been the case. I think he's been getting fastballs to hit and just hasn't been able to put them in play. A lot of foul balls back, just underneath him, hitting foul balls down the other way. Just not enough top hand in the swing.
Up in the air to left. Angel Pagan looking up into the sky. Two men out. Now Ryan Doman will come to the plate to face Johan Santana. Santana in a game early in the season against the Phillies gave up 10 runs. He just got lit up by the Phils, and there was a reason for that. It was back on the 2nd of May. They discovered that he was tipping his pitches. If you see where he holds his glove now, it's down by his waist. He was holding it up by his chest before, and as he would change the grip, the glove could be seen moving, and pitchers, or I should say the hitters, were noticing that. And the Phillies teed off on him that day. So the next outing, they had him put his hands down and did well and started creeping back up again. The next outing after that, and he gave up 4 runs quickly and then decided to buy into the program. And now he keeps his hands down by his waist all the time when he's getting ready to go into the windup.
Typically, you see that somebody in the dugout is nonstop watching pitchers.
To right field, down the line, Jeff Francoeur will give it a run, and he's got it. And the first 6 Pirates are gone in order.
AT&T. Rethink possible. And by Day Automotive. We're going to make your day.
Time to take a look at this day in Pirates history. August 22nd, 1986. Sid Bream went 5 for 5 with a home run. 5 runs batted in and 4 runs scored. Quite a day. The Pirates beat the Braves 16-5 at Three River Stadium. So this day in Pirates history brought to you by Day Automotive. Pretty good day for Sid,
I'd say. How about the replay of the game against the Mets we got to see last night?
Bob Walk.
That was a pretty good day for Bob.
Bob had a 2-run double down the left field line and probably could have had 3 if he was a year or 2 younger.
No.
He had no intention of getting to third, but they did show the replay of him after he stopped at second base and could have used a can of oxygen.
He looked so young. No stash.
It was September 26th, 1992.
Can't wait to talk to him and ask him what Jim Leland said to him in the first inning where he threw about 45 pitches. And
Leland came out and had maybe the quickest visit in the history of baseball. I wonder what that was about. Angel Pagan, second time around. During the rain delay. What we're talking about during the rain delay last night here at the stadium on the big screen, they showed the game. Mets and Pirates when Bob Walk was pitching. What was the final score of that one?
19-2, I believe, as Zach Duke, another strikeout, looking. Gets Pagan. The big backdoor breaking ball. Pagan giving up on it, thinking it's away or perhaps a touchdown. Tim McCullen. You'll see it here on the AGH cam.
Carlos Beltran had an RBI in the first inning with a sacrifice fly. Beltran didn't start playing again this year until the 15th of July. Had off-season knee surgery that was pretty well covered by the media in New York. He wanted his own doctor to do it. Mets said they didn't approve it. And then Beltran's agent, Scott Boras, somehow convinced the Mets that they did approve it. Puts this one foul. So he had the surgery anyway and didn't get back to play until right after the All-Star game this year. What a player he has been for the Royals and the Astros and of course with the Mets. 1-2 pitch to left field down the line. That's foul ground. Pedro Alvarez out and he makes the play. Good concentration for Pedro and he retires Beltran.
Beltran. A little flared on the right field side. He gets tied up. Gets this little flared on the left field side. And Pedro. The key to that play, I think, the angle. Pretty much a direct route from where he started to where he ends up catching it. If he gets offline at all, I think that ball drops safely. Nice play.
David Wright takes a strike on the corner. Doubled. He's behind 0-2. Pretty good series. 5 out of 9. Hit safely in 9 of his last 10 games. And Duke gets him, strikes him out. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Zach Duke, 4 in the game. Due up. They use Lastings Millage. Pirates have gone through 6 hitters in 2 innings. And Santana struck out 4. Got Alvarez and Doma to pop up. And now Millage will try his luck against his former team. Didn't play in the first 2 games against New York.
Millage. I'm sorry, Tim. Millage has been good against left-handed pitching. .315 hitter on the year. All 3 of his homers against lefties.
Drives one hard and foul out of play. Millage, former Met, former National, now with the Pirates. And a lot of questions from the Mets folks about Lastings when they arrived a couple of days ago. Their experience with him has been different than the Pirates' experience with him. He's been very good in a lot of ways. One-two pitch down the right field line. So 1-2. See Neil Walker in the dugout. He's got his microphone on, and we're going to hear more from him in just a moment. Pedro Alvarez made some new strips. Protect from the sun's glare. 2-2.
I wore those things. I mean, it's always hard for me to tell whether they helped or not. I mean, when the sun's out and you get the glare off the seats and what have you. It's always hard to tell them. I really didn't know if they did any good or not.
Yeah, it looks cool.
I never thought they looked cool. In fact, I couldn't stand it because back then we didn't have the strips even. We had like the goo that you put on
grease
it.
Paint.
So you'd be sweating and you'd wipe the sweat and then you'd wipe the goo and then then it's all over your face, all over your hands.
And now they're like Band-Aids. 3-2 now to Millage. It's just like putting a Band-Aid on under your eye. Simple as that. No fuss, no muss. Full count to Lastings Millage. Santana deals. Millage fouls it back.
Lastings wants to have a good game here against the Mets, his former team, a team that I'm sure he thinks gave up on him prematurely.
He was very young when he first came to the Mets. And a one hopper down to Tejada at second base, and Millage is out. Neil Walker is wired up.
Hey, you can't say anything bad. I got a microphone on. So keep it clean. In! Boy. Let's play, Pete.
Neil Walker will be checking in with us. He doesn't know when, but we do. Periodically throughout the course of the ball game today, Walker's wired.
I think he saved Garrett Jones some embarrassment, actually. I mean, Garrett had some kind of strange rendition to the song Roller Coaster, it sounded like, that Neil put a stop to. Thank goodness.
1-1 to Cedeno, swing and a miss, 1-2. Yeah, that's a good call, Rock. You never know when there are microphones open around you. Even when you're playing, you might say something that you don't want other people to hear.
Or same.
1-2 to Ronnie. Cedeno facing Santana, two-time Cy Young Award winner.
Breezed through the first 6. Millage made him work a bit. Cedeno also with decent at bat going so far.
Lifted out toward the left field line. That was going to be a run for Pagan. He won't get it. Bounces up into the seats, foul. About this time last year, actually earlier than this last year, when Santana was shut down. He had bone chips in his left elbow, had to undergo season-ending surgery. He has come back and pitched very well, making his 27th appearance. He has 3 complete games, 2 shutouts. 2 of those 3 complete games have happened in his last 2 outings.
You know, and when you face a guy like this, and you know, a guy with such a good changeup as a hitter, you go up there and you think to yourself, you want to get the ball up, make him elevate the ball, because you know the changeup when it's down and away from you, it's just too far and it's too soft for you to make good contact on. The more the ball is elevated, the better chance you have against it. As Cedeno finishes off the good bat with a walk. But he has such a good
base runner.
Yeah, he has such a good fastball up in the zone that if you're thinking up and he throws the fastball up, it's going to get by you.
If you've ever thought about purchasing season tickets before, now is the best time. Reserve 2011 season tickets now. Close out the 2010 season on us. Put down a $100 per seat deposit on a full or half season ticket plan and get 1 free ticket per deposit for each of the last 12 games of this season. Full season ticket plan start as low as $3.99. 1-800-BUY-BUCKS or visit pirates.com/new deposit. Nothing in 1 to Zach Duke. Foul ball in the bunt attempt. He has 7 successful sacrifices this year.
Pretty good bunter. Expect him to get the job done here against Johan.
Cedeno representing the tying run in the bottom of the 3rd. 1 man is out. Let's get their lone run in the top half of the 1st inning. Duke now 1 ball, 1 strike. Duke facing Santana. Actually, the Astros had Santana before anybody else did. Back in 1995, they signed him as an undrafted free agent. And Florida grabbed him a couple of years later out of the minor leagues in the Rule 5 draft, and they traded him to Minnesota. Bunt popped up. Davis lets it go.
No run, Ronnie.
And they're just going to tag Cedeno. He's going to tag both of them for good measure. So Duke will take Cedeno's place. That's one of the stranger plays you're going to see in bunt defense.
Never saw it before in my life. I don't think we roll again. And you know, and it's a good play by Davis in that if Zach Duke isn't running, it's a double play ball. But Zach Duke, after popping up the bunt, is getting down the line. But once it drops, though, there's no reason for Ronnie to stay there. Go run. Make him make a throw. Who knows? Maybe he throws it in the dirt or throws it over his head.
Yeah, you're right. Don't make it easy on him. Touching swings and misses. Even though the bunt is popped up, you know, Davis trying to create confusion. He knew he could handle the ball rather well.
You'd rather have the pitcher on first base than Ronnie Cedeno. So that's a good play by the first baseman. Obviously, with just a runner on first, there's no infield fly. So trying to get a double play out of it at the very least. Trade base runners.
1-2 to Andrew. Cutchin struck out swinging in the first on 3 pitches. Pair of doubles last night scored the Pirates' lone run, driven in by a Neil Walker RBI single. 2 outs and a 1-2 pitch to Andrew McCutchen. Had to adjust and fouled it off.
Changeup. Left hanging. That's pretty much all we've seen from Santana. Fastball, changeup. And again, when he gets the changeup down, it's tough to hit. And then he throws that fastball belt high and above. Very deceptive.
McCutcheon strikes out for the second time in the ball game. Pirates leave a man. We're through 3 at PNC Park. Great pictures from the AGH camp today. Outstanding. Injury update brought to you by Allegheny General Hospital Sports Medicine. Brad Lincoln placed on the disabled list with Indianapolis. He's got a stiff neck. He's only expected to miss one start. Injury update brought to you by Allegheny General Hospital Sports Medicine, official medical provider of the Pittsburgh Pirates. 1-0 Mets, top of the fourth, and Zach Duke will face Jeff Francoeur, Ike Davis, and Henry Blanco. Along with John Wehner, Tim Neverett. John's here at home, getting a rare weekend appearance at home.
Yep. Old guys need days off here and there.
First pitch to Francoeur, foul back. Which old guys?
The only two guys that I would replace at home.
I'm just trying to get you to name names. 0-1. Inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. So far, Johan Santana's held the Pirates in check. And Francoeur lines one to left, right at Jose Tabata. Makes the catch for out number 1. Since Reyes reached in the top of the first inning, Zach Duke's done a good job against the Mets.
Yes, he has. The tough little play there for Reyes, or for Ryan Domit, rather, on the bunt. Everything would have been done perfectly. And the Mets did a pretty good job of manufacturing a run there in the first. But, yeah, Zach's been great since.
Ike Davis takes ball 1. Ike made the interesting defensive maneuver. The popped-up sacrifice bunt attempt by Zach Duke fell right in front of him, and he let it fall in front of him with Cedeno at first base. And what do you suppose Davis was thinking? He was trying to maybe make his best bet at a double play?
Yeah, I mean, if Zach Duke, the pitcher who bunted the ball, isn't running hard, a lot of times you see it. I wouldn't say all the time, but a lot of times a popped up bunt where the hitter just kind of slumps the shoulders and doesn't run hard.
Davis pops up. Walker called off by Cedeno, and there are 2 outs. Saturday, September 4th, the Pirates will host the Washington Nationals at 7:05. After the game, it's Sky Blast 3, featuring country music star Luke Bryan live in concert. He'll be playing all of his hit songs, including All My Friends Say, Do I, and #1 smash hit, Rain Is a Good Thing. For tickets to the final Sky Blast of 2010, visit Pirates.com.
Yeah, but if Zach Duke bunts that ball, assumes that it's a pop-up and an out to Davis, that's why he let it drop. Turn to double play.
Blanco pops it up left side of the infield this time. Cedeno will take care of that. 3 up and 3 down. And Zach Duke with a 9-pitch inning. Very efficient. 1-0 Mets.
I got it. You got it.
Well, the infield priority defense, and Neal calls it early as that ball's popped up, but shortstop has priority over the second baseman. So what you find, and just another lesson for youngsters out there, don't call it too early. I mean, you can't call it early, but continue to call it. Don't stop. Typically, as it's on its way down is when you want to be the loudest, more authoritative. In that case, Ronnie Cedeno just on the way down overruled Neal, and Neal making sure he let Ronnie know that, okay, it's yours, you take it.
Jose Tabata 1-1 count. And Tabata would experience that in the outfield with McCutchen. McCutchen would have priority, correct?
Yep. Center fielder over the corners. And in the outfield, you want to call it more often, louder, and continuously, especially on the road where the crowd gets louder as the ball comes down. They want to make it more difficult. You're converging in the gap. As that ball is coming down, you just want to continue. And, obviously you hear the center fielder and you're in the corner, you're going to back off. At times it's tough to hear, and that's especially for a young outfielder that is just to the big leagues. Most minor league fields don't have stands in the outfield, so the fans don't really come into play.
Lined right at Davis, and there's one out for the Pirates in the fourth. Let's take a look at our AT&T Mobility trivia question. AT&T, rethink possible. Good question today, I think. Since 2000, only 2 other pitchers have recorded more strikeouts than Johan Santana. Can you name them? Looking for 2 names. Since 2000 have had more strikeouts than Santana. Walker, switch hitter batting right-handed, will take strike 1. Neal struck out swinging to win the first. And Santana offered up that Bugs Bunny changeup. And Neal was way out in front on it. This time it's popped up, back of the plate, and out of play. Santana will put some K's in the scorebook. There's 1, there's 2. It's Walker to end the first.
That's one thing you want to see here is what kind of adjustments do we make as hitters against Johan. I mean, you know, if he got you on the fastball or the high fastball, looked like Neal made an adjustment on the changeup, was able to stay back a little better this at bat. A little still off the end of the bat a little bit, but at least contact, fairly hard contact, and David Wright with a little bit of a late break. See there, the slow-mo and a little bit off the end of the bat. Wright falling to his left. Neal once again robbed of a hit.
Walker 0 for 2 this afternoon.
It looked like he saw the changeup a little bit better this time around. And that's the tough thing about him. I mean, you have to respect the fastball. As much as you sit there and you know how good his changeup is, you can't go up there and just sit changeup because the fastball's firm enough, sneaky enough to get by you. You can't sell out one way or the other.
Two balls and one strike.
And what you can try to do is just try to shorten things up a little bit. Maybe try to get a little quicker with your hands, or get that front foot down a little bit earlier. Hopefully get a hanging change like that. A bit high for Garrett Jones. And if you're going to hit a change up off of Santana a long ways, it's going to be up there typically, at least belt high. And he gets it down knee high. It's tough.
To short left field. And Jose Reyes will make the catch, and the Pirates are done in the fourth. We'll head to the fifth. Mets with a 1-0 lead. Runners in 74 games this year, hitting .314, 15 doubles, 43 runs batted in. He's got a .401 on base percentage. Last 10 games, he has been outstanding. 6 of those 10 games have been multi-hit efforts. Bradenton playing today, and the rain has suspended their game currently, but they're trying to make a run for the Florida State League playoffs. 1-0. Top of the fifth. Great family day on a Sunday, Kids Day at PNC Park. Ruben Tejada, first ball swinging. Here comes Lastings Millage to retire. So Ruben Tejada has made 2 outs, and he's only seen 2 pitches in the game. Zach Duke certainly appreciates it.
Yeah, everybody likes it.
I'll give you our trivia question. Last half inning, from AT&T Mobility. Johan Santana walking to the plate. He's part of the question. Since 2000, only 2 other pitchers have recorded more strikeouts than Santana. Who are they?
Johnson and Sabathia, are my guess.
You were half right. Randy Johnson. And who was it that suggested Vasquez?
You said Vasquez.
And you said no. Oh. Absolutely not.
I disagreed with you. Well, why didn't you make a guess if you thought
that was my
so
guess.
Strongly?
Well,
because
make a
guess. You made a guess where? Off the air?
No, you and I were
innings?
Before the game. You and I were talking about it. And I believed you. I just took your word. But your other answers were good.
I didn't think Vasquez would be anywhere near there. I mean, I know he's been pretty decent, but he's kind of, I guess, just floating under the radar. Quietly having a decent season with the Yanks.
Well, you convinced me that Santana strikes out as one of the other answers you had was pretty good. I thought it was better than my answer, and that was Andy Pettitte.
Yeah, I had 3 lefties. I figured these guys were pretty healthy, and they've pitched a lot since 2000. Sabathia, Pettitte, Johnson. I figured Randy Johnson had to be one of the 3. Eliminated Pettitte because he's not that much of a strikeout pitcher. I wouldn't have guessed Vasquez. I know he had a great year last year for the Braves.
Reyes to center field. He has a second hit of the afternoon. 2-out single for Jose Reyes, who's 2 for 3. "22 straight road games he has hit in. He equaled that franchise record for the Mets back in the first inning. Keith Hernandez has that record now along with Jose Reyes. And for the 42nd time, he has multiple hits in a game.
That's pretty impressive considering he's only played in 109. So we're talking roughly just under 40%.
Reyes did not start the season on time. Doctors discovered some sort of a thyroid ailment that he had, and he had to shut down his spring training activity for a little while. Then they got him squared away, continued spring training, but he was unable to begin the season with the Mets. It didn't take him all that long. Came back in mid-April and has been doing a good job for them. He's a good leadoff hitter. I think if you could draw up a leadoff hitter, he'd be one of them. He'd be one of the guys you'd want to have as one, just because of the way he can run the bases, he can bunt. He'll take second, he'll take third. Does a lot of the things that you want a leadoff hitter to do.
The only thing he doesn't, I think, do a great job in, and would probably be drawing walks, taking pitches. On base percentage just at .328 coming in, which is just okay.
Foul ball, and Pagan now even 1 ball and 1 strike.
He only walks about once every 20 or so at bats.
He does a lot of first ball swinging. That's where his similarities to Florida's Hanley Ramirez come in. Ramirez loves to swing at the first pitch, and Reyes will as well. We've seen a few of these Mets, including Tejada, who we saw hit this inning. Aggressive, going after the first pitch strike. 2-1 to Pagan. Who's the best leadoff hitter you played with?
Played with?
Either the Pirates or the Marlins.
Well, that's a good question. I just thinking, I mean, prototypical leadoff hitters. I don't know if we've really had one. I mean, when it first came up, a lot of times it was Gary Reedus. And that was, towards the twilight of his career, where he was, I could run when he was a younger player, but didn't run as often that late in his career.
To the first, and Reyes almost picked off. Saw the extra steps he was taking to get Duke's attention, daring him to throw there.
The other side of the bag, you might get him. Tony Womack, obviously, as a base stealer, good leadoff guy, but wasn't another guy didn't walk a whole lot. Luis Castillo, who's a Met, was a rookie with the Marlins.
There goes Reyes. Pitch is popped up Shallow right field, long run for Millage, and he makes the catch. And the side is gone for the Mets in the top half of the fifth. Still a 1-0 ball game. PNC Park, perfect for corporate events, weddings, bar mitzvahs, and more. Catering options are available in the Lexus Club, Pittsburgh Baseball Club, or the Trip Total Media Hall of Fame Club at PNC Park. 1-800-BUY-BUCKS or Pirates.com/PNC Park events. Get you the information. It is a great place to have your next event, whether it be a family event, a corporate event. Trip Total Media Hall of Fame Club is also a super venue. And again, it does not have to be during baseball season. It can be year-round. Pedro Alvarez with a base hit to lead off the inning. Tying run aboard for the Bucks in the bottom of the fifth.
There's an adjustment. Pedro aggressive on the first pitch fastball. Straight down through the ball, and I think that's what Pedro has really struggled with this homestand, is getting to that fastball.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Come on, come on, come on, one at a time.
More of a direct path there for Pedro. A to B. Barrel of the bat.
Helmet first ball swinging. Strike one. Maybe the approach is changing here during the game against Santana.
Well, I mean, I think you're going to have to, in any game, you're going to have to change your approach, or adjust, rather. I wouldn't say change your approach as much as adjust to a particular pitcher. All these guys have never faced Santana, so you don't know what kind of fastball. You can see it on video, and you know what the velocity is, but some fastballs have more movement, some are sneakier than others. You can see the changeup on TV, but it doesn't look the same as seeing it live and while you're in the batter's box. There's certain guys like Sid Fernandez, who was a great pitcher for the Mets, with that sneaky little 86-mile-per-hour fastball. He'd like to throw it above the belt, and you just couldn't figure it out. Why am I missing it? It's 87, 88. Why can't I get to it? When you kind of learn to adjust, maybe you kind of get a little wider with your stance, shorten your stride, get your foot down a little earlier, get your hands back a little sooner, exaggerate with your top hand to get on top of it.
To Reyes. Tejada for one. That's two. Double play for the Mets. 2 outs, nobody on for Lastings Miller.
Then you adjust perhaps to the fastball, and you feel like you got it timed right. And then Santana throws you that great changeup, and You know, and that's what makes him a great pitcher. I mean, you can adjust one way, and he's adjusting along with you. He may recognize that, hey, he's getting to my fastball. It's a better swing against my fastball. So you go with the changeup. Disrupt the timing. That's what makes great pitchers.
81 miles an hour on that offering.
And that changeup, Johan goes inside with it. Called it inside. Something you don't see a whole lot of.
Millage got it pretty well. It's up in the air to left center, back, and gone! A game-tying home run for Lastings Millage. His 4th of the season, and it is 1-1.
Well, you figured Lastings Millage is going to want to have a good day here against his former team, the Mets. And he had a good at-bat, his first at-bat. He had a long at-bat against Santana, hit a one-hopper to second.
Cold hard blast from Lastings Millage. Brought to you by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Just like that. A tie ball game. 4th homer, all against lefties.
Well, Millage goes deep. Very deep. Brand new ball game. Lastings Millage. Giving us our cold hard blast here today. Beltran running out of room. Cedeno stays alive. Again, the cold hard blast brought to you by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. One ball and 2 strikes. Pitch on the outside corner. And that does it for the inning. But 1 run comes in on 2 hits. And Lastings Millage gets the deep drive onto the ballpark to tie it up. Lastings Millage gets the Pirates on the board. His 4th home run of the season, a solo shot. Evens the game at 1 apiece, and the Pirates on the board. Safe Auto Insurance reminds you you're safe at home with Safe Auto, proudly supporting the Obadiah Cole Foundation for prostate cancer screening and awareness. Early detection is the cure. John Wayner, Tim Neverett, PNC Park on a gorgeous Sunday afternoon Kids Day today. Top of the 6th. Carlos Beltran, the center fielder, takes the next offering for ball 2, 2-0.
hopefully Zach Duke continue to pitch well. Got a tie ball game. Scary part of the Mets lineup. Beltran, Wright, Francoeur. 3 guys that can leave the park with one swing.
Doma tried to frame that pitch on the corner, but McClellan didn't buy it behind the plate. 3-1. Hot shot down to second. And Walker throws out Beltran. Walker is wired, and last inning he had to get some help from Lasting's Millage on a play that was behind him.
Well, I went to the bag.
You was in a little bit?
No, he was stealing.
Oh.
I went to the bag, and then I went back, and then Ronnie tried to help me out.
Walker wired up today, and Millage didn't know that Walker was heading toward the second base bag. Reyes running, and Walker looked like he was heading over to cover, so he had a much longer way to go on that fly ball. That's why Millage had to run so far in to get it.
That's why you never assume whether he's going to reach the seats, whether you're an outfielder or whatever the case may be. I mean, that's a shallow pop fly, and if Lastings would have assumed that Neil Walker was going to camp under it, and he doesn't go hard, that ball's going to drop in more than likely. But as an outfielder, you don't assume that anything is routine for anybody. You go and chase after it until you're called off. But as an infielder, Neil, going one direction, has to stop, go the other direction. We'll see how far in Lastings caught that ball. And typically, what you're going to find is the second baseman, if the runner isn't going, he takes 5 or 6 steps back, and it's a can of corn. But Lastings did not assume that and made an easy play himself.
2-2 to Wright. David Wright doubled in the first inning, struck out in the third. Player of the month for July in the National League, David Wright. He's not had a terrific start in August. He's been good enough. But he really ripped it up during the month of July. He has hit left-handed pitching well, tops in the National League in that category, batting .369 against lefties. 3-2 pitch, pulled foul.
I would have never guessed in a million years that he would strike out as often as he does. He struck out 131 times on the year. Not getting the call. Zach Duke, like the pitch, like the location, like the aggressiveness. Just did not like the call. Crew chief Tim McClellan sets up right over that inside corner. You would think he'd get a pretty good look of it.
See, right at the knees over the plate.
The question wasn't up or down. It was in or on. And according to plate umpire Tim McClellan, it was off the plate.
Francoeur to right center. Millage calling for it. And that will be out number 2. Francoeur is 0 for 2. That'll bring up Ike Davis. Davis, a strikeout victim in the first inning, also popped out to Cedeno at short. Davis has done a pretty good job for the Mets this year, taking over at first base.
It's amazing his mannerisms, how much he reminds me of Adam LaRoche. Just kind of nonchalant, the way he handles the glove over there at first. Free and easy, relaxed.
That's ball 1. Been striking out a lot. He struck out 39 times in his last 37 games. 1-0. And this one into right field, and a solidly struck single. That puts 2 men on with 2 out for the Mets. Davis getting his first hit of the afternoon.
Taking advantage of that big hole on the right side.
Let's take a look at the Coors Light freeze cam. Pedro Alvarez involved in this one. He had to go a long way, maintain his concentration. Almost ran out of room there. Freeze cam brought to you by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Henry Blanco, ball 1. Blanco's been around a while.
Yes, he has. Henry, just 20 at bats with runners in scoring position, just 2 for 20. A 100 batting average.
Looks at the breaking ball for a strike, 1-1. Well, speaking of catchers, Blanco catching today. Josh Tolley, who caught the first 2 games of this series, will now be the regular #1 catcher. The Mets had placed catcher Rod Barajas on waivers, and the Dodgers picked him up today. Chopper down to third. Pedro takes the easy one. Does it for the Mets in the top half of the 6th. It's a 1-1 game at PNC Park. Of the 6th inning with John Wayner, I'm Tim Neverett. Zach Duke will lead off. And he'll be followed by the top of the order, McCutchen and Tabata. Ross Solendorf, Jeff Clement in the dugout. Neil Walker. Great look at the Allegheny River on a sunny Sunday afternoon. Still 3 more games to go on this homestand. The Cardinals come in for 3 night games tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Pirates trying to salvage a game in this 3-game series with the Mets. Zach Duke 0 for 1. Reached on a fielder's choice. That was the strange play where he popped up what was to be a sacrifice bunt. Mike Davis intentionally let it drop in front of him. Ronnie Cedeno, who was at first base at the time, stayed put. And then Davis just picked up the ball, and with 2 men standing on first, he walked over, tagged them both, but Cedeno's out.
Check there from Zach. Zach has a pretty good swing. Disappointed in his batting average. A good spring training. Hit the ball hard. Limited at bats, but hitting just
Zach drives one to center field. Beltran's going to chase it down, but pretty good poke for Zach Duke. Let's take a look at the road ahead, brought to you by your Western Pennsylvania Toyota dealers. Toyota moving forward. Kyle Loesch and Ross Ollendorf, the matchup tomorrow. Then Tuesday night, Paul Maholm meets Adam Wainwright. And Jake Westbrook against Jeff Karstens. Coverage begins with the Trip Total Media Pirates pregame show, 6:30, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Westbrook was just acquired by the Cardinals when we were there, and we did not get to see him pitch. We'll see him during the next series. McCutchen pops it up to short center field. Beltran has out number 2. Let's look at the calendar. St. Louis coming in for 3, then a travel day. Milwaukee and Chicago. Final visits to Miller Park and Wrigley Field this year. And the Nationals and Braves come in. First visit for the Nationals, second visit for the Braves, then off to Cincinnati, 4 with the Mets. And then the Arizona Diamondbacks come in to finish out the month.
It's amazing. It's almost September already.
You're on the last page of your pocket calendar.
Amazing.
Yeah, come on 3 separate sides. First 2 months are gone. You rip that one off. Second 2 months, rip that one off. Tabata hits one high and deep to left. This ball is way back, and this ball is gone! Home run! Jose Tabata! And the Pirates have taken a 2-1 lead.
A couple of guys that are not known for their power, but have impressive power. They just don't hit the ball out of the park all that often. First and last thing's Millage in the 5th straightaway, and here's Jose Tabata, as you can see on the AGH cam, a hanging changeup. That's where you want to get it. Said that earlier. Belt high changeup, middle, backspin, way out of here and left.
Nice job, Jose.
That's what you hear as far as, I mean, this guy's 22 years old. The power is going to develop. He has power. He just hasn't hit for power.
Well, that's a fair ball. Pulled right off the chalk line by Blanco. Walker is out, but the Pirates get a key run. Both of their runs coming on solo shots this afternoon. And Jose Tabata looking to see how far that one traveled. 2-1 Bucks. Jose Tabata, Lastings, Millage, each with solo home runs for the Bucks. That's got a single run in the first, and Zach Duke has been holding him down ever since. Here's Ruben Tejada to lead off. Corner's playing him in. Second baseman has made 2 outs to right field on 2 pitches. He's first ball swung both times. Zach Duke for the 12th time this year pitching beyond the 6th inning. And Alvarez throws out Tejada, 1 away. Neil Walker today, who is wired for us, struggles a little bit at the plate with Santana.
Well, I mean, he's not the only one. A lot of different guys.
Notice long is still not easy to hit. That's nasty.
That's nasty. You know what's coming and you still can't hit it. How does that feel as a hitter?
Frustrating. I mean, I don't know how he knows what's coming. I'm guessing that he was guessing correctly and still couldn't stay back on that changeup, which is just filthy. Or as you mentioned, he had an issue with tipping pitches earlier this year. Perhaps maybe the Pirates have picked up on something.
Speed pitch, and Santana gets this one to right center. Going to be a tough play. McCutchen comes in. 2 men down in the 7th.
Three guys going out there to get that ball. The second baseman, Walker, Millage, McCutchen. And that's where communication is the most important, as you could see there from Andrew calling it late. The other 2 guys peel off.
Zach Duke through 6 2/3 facing Jose Reyes. He deals him a strike. Zach has pitched into the 8th inning just once this year. That was on the 16th of April against Cincinnati. Got a no decision going 7+ that game. Reyes looked to bunt, almost walked into the pitch.
Duke going inside. Reyes almost ran into that fastball.
Now Reyes with 2 strikes on him.
Allowed your infield to relax and back up.
Well, the corners do move back. Jones at first and Alvarez at third. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 down, nobody on. And Reyes had all he could do to lay off that pitch. 2-2. Pirates with a 2-1 lead. 2 runs on 3 hits for the Bucs. 2 of the 3 hits have been home runs off Santana. That's with a run on 5 hits. Foul back. Reyes a bunt base hit him at first, and then in the 2nd inning hit a slow roller past the left side of the mound that Ronnie Cedeno made a terrific play on. Charging and throwing across his body to just barely get Reyes. Up in the air to right center. Lastings Millage wants it. And Zach Duke gets through the 7th. Stretch time at PNC Park, and the Pirates with a 2-1 lead.
Hi, boy. That was a train wreck waiting to happen right there. Oh, you called it last second.
Yeah, as an infielder, I mean, there's a pop-up like that. It's not routine for either outfielder. I mean, your job is to go out there and see if you can catch it. And your objective is to catch it until you hear the outfielder. And in that case, Andrew McCutchen. And you don't want to call it too soon. You want to make sure that it's a routine play for you as an outfielder before you start calling off the infielder. But I know what Neil's talking about. It's a train wreck ready to happen. It's already happened to Neil where he collided with the right fielder and happened to Bobby Crosby as well on the same road trip. So, he does his job. He goes back there until he hears an outfielder. McCutchen is charging hard, and he's not going to call it until he knows he can get to it routinely. So it was done perfectly. And, again, Andrew McCutchen calling it late and often and loudly so everybody knows to peel off.
Interesting getting the inside look with a player wired up. We do it occasionally, and today the first time we're doing it with Neil Walker, and it's always different, I think, for the viewer, and interesting always to bring you down on the field and let you listen in. Instead of just watching, you get to hear how things develop on the field.
Yeah, and it's interesting, too. I mean, I think a different type of game will give you different sounds. And, I mean, if you had Neil wired up every game, you get to see all sorts of scenarios, whether they're a double cut play or, anything, or a hit and run play where you need to communicate, a bunt play. There's so many different plays to where you'd hear more from Neil in certain situations. Still, in every game, you're going to hear communication one way or the other. But, I mean, certain games, you're going to get better stuff, more interesting stuff.
Well, Johan Santana getting set to face Garrett Jones to start the bottom of the seventh inning. And John Wayner, Tim Neverett here at PNC Park. Great Sunday afternoon Kids Day. And when you look at what the Pirates have done offensively today, you say 2 runs, but 2 solo home runs. Pirates starting to hit the long ball, which is something they've done on this homestand pretty well.
Against Santana, you got to figure you're not going to get many hits. So the Bucks with just 3 here this afternoon. If they were singles, it would be 1-0 Mets. So thank goodness for lastings and Jose Tabata.
Homered 7 times in the first 7 games of this 10-game homestand. 0-2 to Jones. Take it high from Johan.
Santana taking his turn at the plate in the top of the 7th inning. Jerry Manuel figuring that maybe his offense could score in the 8th or 9th. Not pinch hitting for his star left-hander.
Jose Reyes will put it away for out number 1. Jones 0 for 3.
Which is an interesting move for me. I wonder, I scratch my head if it's not Johan Santana. Any other pitcher, I think he pinch hits for. I just think that he's ran into so much tough luck this year in Santana. Just mentioned at the Open, 15 games, 15 starts where he's allowed 0 or 1 run. And he only got 9 wins out of those 15 occasions.
Alvarez another base hit as he goes the other way, and Pedro is 2 for 3.
Go figure. Pedro struggling this homestand. 3 good at bats. Reyes playing up the middle a bit, which I can't fault. There's not many occurrences that I can recall where Pedro's hit a ground ball to the left side. It's just a good piece of hitting. I mentioned I mentioned it with Rob or Pedro needing to make an adjustment with his hands as far as the fastball is concerned. Being able to get on top of the ball has done so.
Ryan Doman hits one high to left field. Going back on Pagan, and in the north side, Notch makes the catch. Doman gave it a ride, but it wasn't far enough to one of the deeper parts of the ballpark. And Pagan able to track it down. Alvarez back safely at first.
Yeah, right-handed hitter at PNC Park. And Ryan Doman better from the left side. But as a right-handed hitter in most other parks, he would have had himself a 2-run homer. But at PNC in that deep left center field, a lot of room out there for Pagan, and catches it easily a couple of steps from the wall.
Hastings Millage will face Santana. Well, you mentioned his starts, not allowing more than 1 run in 15 starts. And when you look at it, he hasn't allowed a single run in 8 starts. It's tied for the major league lead with Roy Halladay and Adam Wainwright. Wainwright will pitch for the Cardinals during this series. Foul ball coming up starting Monday. Dwight Gooden holds the Mets record with 19 starts like that. Did in the 85 season.
How many?
19.
With 0?
With 1 run or less.
Or 0, okay.
I was going to say 0. That would be.
Yeah, that would have been
at the top of the record books there. But no, 1 run or fewer 19 times during the 85 season.
I mean, I understand the respect you have for a pitcher, especially a pitcher like Santana, but you only have so many more at bats. I'm surprised. I don't know if I can totally agree with letting him hit in the 7th inning. When you only have 8 more outs to score a run.
Two balls and 1 strike. Santana's last win against the Pirates was back in the 2008 season. Struck out 7 in that ball game. Last year dropped a 3-1 decision in June, early June. Zach Duke was the opposing pitcher in that ball game. He allowed 3 runs over 6 innings. 2-1 career against the Pirates with an ERA of 1.88 in his career. The Pirates with a 2-1 lead today.
Hastings Millage, 2 good at bats. Saw a bunch of pitches his first time up. Hit a 1 hopper. Hard hit ball to the second baseman, Tejada. And the bomb into the Mets bullpen straight away.
Three and 2. Alvarez will move with the pitch. 2 men out. Bottom of the 7th. Last night, the Mets would win a rain-shortened game, 5-1 the final. He played 5 full. Reyes had a hit to start the 6th, and Pagano had a 3-1 count on him when Rains halted play. Millage strikes out. And the Pirates done in the 7th. We'll move to inning number 8, 2-1 Bucks.
Foot out. That's too far to hit a ball and get out right there. That ball went farther than his home run ball.
Neil Walker wired today talking about Ryan Domit's out to deep left center field on the north side notch. And, you know, if you go back to Friday night, Neil's exactly right, because Domit hit a 349-foot home run into the right field stands and made an out 405 feet away from home plate when Angel Pagan caught up with it. But you go back a couple of games earlier against the Marlins on Wednesday, Domit hit one completely out of the ballpark, estimated at 445 feet. Evan Meek is on to replace Zach Duke here in the 8th.
Well, Evan Meek, the impressive numbers. 55 strikeouts, just 23 walks, and opponents just 186, and he gets the heart of the Mets order.
Pagan leads off for 2-hitter. He's 0 for 3 today, and he takes strike 1. And Beltran, and then David Wright.
Great job by Zach Duke. Jose Reyes leading off the game with a bunt base hit, goes to second, comes around on an error by Domit, comes around to score, and that's it off of Zach.
One and one to Pagan. Pagan has faced Meek once before. His last season, and Meek walked him. Beltran, who hits next, has faced him twice and does not have a hit. Ground ball towards second. Walker throws out Pagan, one away in the Mets 8th.
That's what you like to hear. That cutter getting in on the hands of hitters. Evan Meek is going good. Has that good cut fastball working. Bears in on those hands of the left-handed batter.
Beltran, a sacrifice fly and an RBI in the first inning. He's 0 for 2 since. He has driven in the lone Mets run this afternoon. See the Cubs leading Atlanta 3-2 in the top of the 4th inning at Wrigley Field. And final game for Lou Piniella today. He's decided to call it a retirement early. Mother is very ill and needs to attend to his personal situation there. So he has decided that today will be his final game managing the Cubs. He was going to be done at the end of the season anyway, but the family matters are most important, and that's where his attentions will lie following the ball game today. Mike Quade takes over as Cubs skipper. 3-0 and a strike to Beltran.
Beltran taking all away there. 40-plus homer guy.
And that is outside ball 4. In case you missed it, presented by our friends at Mazda. We talked about Lou Piniella will retire after today's game. More wins than losses. There's a lot of both of them. Steven Strasburg left last night, started in the 5th inning. A strained flexor tendon in his forearm. Had an MRI done. Second grand slam of the season for Robinson Cano. Yankees lead the Mariners 5-0. It's raining in the Bronx. And Vin Scully, the legendary announcer for the Dodgers, will be back for a 62nd season behind the microphone in Los Angeles. That's good news. David Wright takes a strike.
I like the fact that he announced it now instead of waiting a couple weeks into spring training.
Vin's a class act. Does all the home games and all of the road games that are as far east as Colorado. He'll do basically the Western Division games. Doesn't travel anymore. So when the Dodgers come to Pittsburgh, he won't be on the trip. But very nice this year. He took some time out for me. I always appreciate that. Really legendary figure in this sport. 0-1. There you go. No, says DJ Rayburn.
Slider, not even close.
Ball and a strike. Domit wanting it outside. That's where it went. 2 balls and a strike.
Velocity about 94 on the fastball. And David Wright has power to all fields. Evan Meek, I'm sure, as most scouting reports would suggest, likes to keep the ball away. David Wright drives the ball the other way very well. You only give him something up and out over the plate. Keep it down out there.
Right by him. 2 balls, 2 strikes to David Wright. Hard fastball here.
He misses with his location. He tried to go down and away. Ended up middle, which isn't a bad location. Zach Duke struck David Wright with a similar pitch back in the 3rd.
Getting back is Beltran. 1-out walk put him at first base. David Wright with an even 2-ball, 2-strike count. 1 down. Top of the 8th. Pirates with a 2-1 lead. 2 solo home runs today. Lasting's Millage in the 5th and Jose Tabata in the 6th. Three and 2. Pretty close, but a little bit too far inside, apparently.
Almost a guarantee here that Beltran will take off with his 3-2 pitch.
Make set. And the payoff pitch. Hit in the air to center field. Going after it, McCutcheon. 2 down.
Tied him up just enough.
And Jeff Francoeur will be the hitter. Francoeur, almost a year to the day. It was August 23rd of last year. He became the 2nd player in big league history to hit into a game-ending unassisted triple play. It was against the Phillies. He had a line drive directly to Eric Bruntlett, who was playing second base, and worked it into a triple play to end the ball game. The only other guy to do it, gentleman by the name, not exactly a household name, Homer Suma in 1927.
Surprised Beltran was not going on the 3-2 pitch, and perhaps because of the surgically repaired knee in the offseason, he doesn't run anymore. Only 1 attempt on the year. Evan Meek not very quick to the plate. 2 throws over. As I mentioned, 0 for 1.
You mentioned the knee, and he does wear a knee brace. However, the folks from the Mets say it's very, very light, very lightweight, and should not be cumbersome when he runs. However, he's still coming off of knee surgery and probably not going to go as often. Cedeno, short way to Walker. That's the inning. 7.5 done. Head to the bottom of the 8th. Pirates 2, Mets 1. 2-1. They lead it going to the bottom of the 8th inning. Ronnie Cedeno in the pitcher's spot, and Andy LaRoche has grabbed a bat. He's out of the on-deck circle. Well, looks like LaRoche will pinch hit, and then the top of the order, McCutchen against Johan Santana. A 1 to Cedeno. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Things finish up the way the Pirates want. Santana may end up with his 4th complete game. Or be just an 8-inning complete game.
Well, that's how his last one was on the 17th at Houston. The Mets would lose that game 4-3. He'd get an 8-inning complete game. The time before that, he beat Colorado, shut him out 4-0. That was back on the 12th of August. The last Mets pitcher to throw back-to-back complete games, Mike Pelfrey, on the 20th of August and 25th of August.
It would actually be nice. I mentioned how it works out the way the Pirates want. And we retire the Mets in the 9th. We really want it. What I would really like is the Pirates to add on him. Give a little wiggle room, but Ronnie Cedeno is not going to reach leading off the bottom of the 8th as he strikes out for the 2nd time. It'd be nice to give Joel Hanrahan a couple of extra runs to work with.
8 strikeouts for Santana. Four-time All-Star Johan Santana facing Andy LaRoche. Cross his name off in red. Jeff Bannister, the bench coach, administering the lineup card in the dugout. Every little thing has its place. They're all little colored in dots and the red ink.
And for whatever reason, you find most bench coaches are rather neat. Look at the fancy writing as far as the players' names there. And you're just not going to scratch it up there. They all have particular penmanship. The perfect little boxes coloring out the players used or replaced.
LaRoche hits one high in the air to right. Francoeur drifting back. Makes the catch in front of the warning track for out number 2. Well, after the game, those lineup cards are taken and given a sticker of authenticity. They're authenticated and they become memorabilia. That's after each and every game, home and road. McCutchen 0 for 3. I guess it used to be, John, in the old days, nobody thought they would be good memorabilia. They used to end up in a trash can. Yep. Or if somebody did something special that day, some player might be smart enough to go grab it off the wall and keep it. I remember former infielder Jeff Houston telling me he did that when he was with the Rangers, one of Nolan Ryan's no-hitters. He immediately made a beeline for the side of the dugout where the thing was taped up with athletic tape. A bullet hit foul. And he kept that lineup card. Of course, he was in it, so he wanted to keep it.
Yeah. I don't know how you think of something like that. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't. Assuming something like that, obviously you'd be celebrating a pretty impressive event. You'd be thinking about a lineup card.
Different guys think of different things. Count even to McCutchen, 2-2. Got struck out in the first, third, and flat out to center in the 6th. And he strikes out for the 3rd time today. We are through 8 innings, and Santana has gone all 8. And the Pirates close it out. They lead 2-1. Two to 1 Pirates leading the Mets, top of the 9th inning. Today's game has had a lot to do with pitching. And our Aspen Dental Make You Smile also about pitching. The first pitch of the ball game thrown out by filmmaker Ken Burns, who has done such tremendous work on baseball. His documentary films. Ken Burns, Make You Smile. He's played by the Parrot too. And Joel Hanrahan hoping to make you smile as he looks for another save.
73 strikeouts, 52 third innings. Hanrahan for his second save as a Bucko.
Mike Davis against Joel Hanrahan. And a strike is called. Davis with a hit in the 6th inning. Back in the 1st, he struck out. And then popped out to the shortstop, Ronnie Cedeno, in the 4th. 1 for 3 for the first baseman, Davis. 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hanrahan primarily has taken over the closing duties for the Pirates. John Russell said that he would give Evan Meek an opportunity here and there as well. Meek doing the setup chores today as strike 2 is delivered. Meek with 1 inning of hitless and scoreless relief, backing up Zach Duke. Duke, an outstanding effort, 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 run. Walked 2, struck out 5. On 96 pitches today. And a 1-2 to Davis. Down the line, foul. I like the Pirates charity sign.
Off speed pitch. And we got to respect the fastball, Joel Hanrahan. And so Davis geared up for the heater. So that hanging breaking ball ends up being pulled foul. If he's not throwing 96, I think Mike Davis has got a chance keeping that fair.
1-2 missed off the corner.
That's the one thing you don't want to do if you're Joel Hanrahan. Make mistakes inside. You don't want to give the hitter any pitch that he can drive out of the ballpark to right. If he's going to beat you with a home run, he's going to have to go the other way.
Here's the 2-2. Full count. 98 on the gun for Hanrahan. The payoff pitch to Ike Davis. A base hit to right. And the Mets in the top of the ninth have the tying run aboard with nobody out.
Good at bat from Davis. Getting that fastball in. And Garrett Jones was cheating towards first base. A decent hole on that right side. Went through it as Chris Carter going to pinch hit for the catcher, Henry Blanco.
Well, Carter has a home run in this series. Started the first 2 games in right field. Coming off the bench to pinch hit for Jerry Manuel this afternoon. Pirates love to get a ground ball, get 2 here. Another pinch hitter is out on deck. Josh Tolley, the catcher. Inside ball 1. Carter, a pretty intense guy. There is Tolley, who is now the number 1 catcher that Rod Barajas has been picked up on waivers by the Dodgers. Jesus Feliciano, an outfielder, has taken Barajas' spot on the Mets roster as of today. 1-1.
My guess is that Tolley will not pinch hit in the event you get 2 on here and nobody out. If Carter gets on, I would think that Jerry Manuel would go with Tejada to bunt those 2 up. Hopefully that won't be the case. Hopefully the Hanrahan will retire Carter.
And fouled back for strike 2. Well, our good word today comes from Vin Scully, returning Dodger broadcaster. And just tongue-in-cheek, joking around today, he said now that they have Rod Barajas, that was the clincher. The Dodgers scooped him up on waivers. So Vin is going to return for a 62nd season behind the mic next year. Joking with the assembled media today in Southern California for their game with the Reds. Down the left field line, and that'll slice into the seats. One ball, 2 strikes. All Zach can do is wait.
It's the whale of a game. Hopefully Zach can finish strong.
Zach's last win came on July 27th in Colorado. Carter fought that one off. Stays 1-2. Zach had back-to-back wins. One on the 21st against Milwaukee, pitching 6+. Pitched 6 at Colorado on the 27th of July, and today goes 7. Joel Hanrahan trying to slam the door for him. Pirates a 1-run lead, 2-1, top of the ninth. Nobody out, a man aboard. And this one is slapped down the left field line. That's going to be fouled. Carter just seems content to try to take the ball that way.
Pitch out over. See the foot down early. Head down. As he takes that approach, I mean, I know Joel Hanrahan likes to stay away, hard and soft. You can see right here with the AGH cam. It's really neat how you can see the hitter. In this case, Chris Carter dropped that head at contact. But you almost got to think, as much as Hanrahan likes to stay away, he almost has to come in on Carter here. Going up.
And Carter trying to slap it to left field, fouls it off. 97-mile-an-hour fastball. 1-2 count. I think he comes with that slider soon.
Well, again, the way he's taking this approach, I mean, I wouldn't throw him a slider for a strike. That's the one pitch that he's going to be able to pull. Big hole on that right side. And we bury it.
And he hits it to right field. Millage will make the catch. He gave him the slider and he hit it to right.
Yeah, and he hit it right on the button, too. That's a dangerous pitch in that situation right there. I don't think he wanted to leave it over the heart of the plate. But when you got a guy just fighting off fastballs the other way, and you throw him a slider like that, I mean, up, middle, in. Lucky that ball stayed in the ballpark, really. And he didn't get under that or on top of it. Actually, that's the best case scenario. Hit it on the line to where Milledge could pull it in. Ground balls through that right side. A fly ball's in the seats.
Josh Tolley, the catcher, coming in to pinch hit for Ruben Tejada. One down, top of the ninth. Ball one. Tolley had a hit in 3 trips to the plate last night in the rain-shortened game, and then had 2 RBI singles out of 4 trips. 2 for 4 on Friday. 3 hits in the series. 1-1 the count to Tolley. Pirates would like to close this one out. Get a win out of the series and get a win heading into the series with the Cardinals starting tomorrow night. Mets have a day off tomorrow, and then they will go home and welcome the Florida Marlins and Houston Astros in back-to-back series. One pitch to Tolley. Got him on the corner. That's strike 2.
Perfectly placed. Perhaps getting a call from home plate umpire Tim McClellan.
1 out, 1 on. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Strike 3. Got him.
Yes, sir. Tolley had something to say to Tim McClellan afterwards. Why not go back out there? Tolley knows he has to protect that much off the plate. So that ball, again, probably maybe 6-8 inches outside. Tolley just trying to foul it off. Hanrahan gets the K. Watch it run away from him. Run, 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 run. No chance.
Well, the Mets down to their final out, and it'll be pinch hitter Jesus Feliciano. Just added to the roster today, the active roster, and he takes ball 1, takes the spot of Rob Barajas, who went to the Dodgers. We talked about that. And now Hanrahan, who gave up a leadoff base hit to Ike Davis. Davis still at first base and 2 men out. Jesus Feliciano, the 1-0 pitch. There's a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike now to Feliciano. Bayamon in Puerto Rico. Called up from Buffalo and now in the big leagues for the first time. Foul ball, very close, but wide of the bag. And now Joel Hanrahan is 1 strike away from closing it out on the Mets.
Yes, sir. That ball not foul by much. Moment to discuss things, how to finish off Feliciano. Pirate fans rising up.
Fans up. They're ready for this one. 1-2. Feliciano waits. Hanrahan deals. Ground ball to second. Should do it. And the Pirates have ended a 5-game skid and have taken this one today. They've given Zach Duke win number 6. A 2-1. Very well played game today at PNC Park.
Tip your cap to Zach Duke. He's had a rough year, but has pitched well against the Mets in his career. That ups his record to 4-1, 2 years in a row, beating Johan Santana, allowing the Mets just 1 run. Way to go, Zach. And the power coming from a couple of unlikely sources. Jose Tabata, Lastings, Milledge. But a hard-earned 2-1 victory for the Buccos.
2 swings of the bat, the difference for the Bucks today as they get the victory over the Mets in Game 3 of this series. And I want to thank Neil Walker for his participation today. Yep, that's you, Neil. And he's saying he enjoyed it, we hope, as Neil was wired today for us. Gave us a good inside look at the ball game. That's going to do it for our game coverage. Our next broadcast of Pirates baseball in FSM Pittsburgh tomorrow night as the homestand rolls on against the St. Louis Cardinals. Kyle Walsh will pitch for the Birds against Ross Ollendorf. Trip Total Media Pirates pregame begins our coverage at 6:30. Then Greg Brown and Steve Blass have the call at 7 right here on FSM Pittsburgh, bringing the game to you. Once again, our final score, the Pirates 2, the Mets 1. For John Wayner and our entire crew, I'm Tim Neverett, reminding you to stay tuned. The AGH Sports Medicine Pirates postgame comes up right after the break.